I got a feeling things are moving. So turn and feel your grooving. I feel like things are turning around. They're turning around, yeah. Get up now, you're gonna shake it. It looks like you're gonna make it. 'Cause I feel like things turn around, yeah.
I got this feeling like I'm feeling kinda light. See some rough days, but made it through the night. Standing tall in spite, it's got me kinda hyped. Like I just might win it all, yeah, that type. A flow, a feeling, about to go where there ain't no ceiling. Ride with me, vibe with me. I speak life to my city, let's go. On that turnaround, no, you can't stop me now, 'cause I'm feeling oh so good. That everlasting peace, this joy I found inside, just won't let go of me, hey.
I got a feeling things are moving, so turn and feel your grooving. I feel like things are turning around, they're turning around, yeah. Up now you're gonna shake it, looks like you're gonna make it. 'Cause I feel like things are turning around, they're turning around, yeah.
I'm kissing bye to them dark days, stormy nights. I hear a song in the air and it's kinda like life's highlights, grace notes, melodies done took flight. Did a shake kinda night. Everything's gonna be alright. 'Cause yesterday is yesterday, and yesterday's gone. I say yesterday, my best of days, so yesterday is on. 'Cause I'm feeling oh so good, that everlasting peace, this joy I found inside, just won't let go of me, hey.
I got a feeling things are moving, so turn and feel your grooving. Feeling like things are turning around,
Turn
they're
around,
turning around,
turn around.
yeah. Up now you're gonna shake it, looks like you're gonna make it. 'Cause I feel like things are turning around,
Turn
they're
around,
turning around,
turn around. Shake it off, shake it off. Everything in the past, gotta shake it off.
'Cause tough times won't last.
Shake it off,
Everything I have,
it's taking off. Shake it off, shake it off. Everything in the past, gotta shake it off.
'Cause tough times won't last.
Shake it off,
Everything I have,
it's taking off. All the things that they said that we never be, all the things that they said that we never do. Let that no flip flop. 1, 2, it's on. Now let them watch you.
turn around,
Everything in your life, watch us.
turn around,
Keep your head to the sky, 'cause it's
turn around.
yes.
Watch it turn around,
Turn around,
turn around,
turn around.
turn around,
Don't give up on them dreams.
turn around.
You just gotta believe
It's
it.
turn around. Oh, it's turn around.
Turn
It's
around,
turn around.
turn
It's
around.
turn around.
Dark days kissing bye to them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Mental Impact Radio. Let's talk gospel. We're sitting down with a young lady that you may know her from her YouTube skits, her Instagram skits that just keeps you laughing and rolling on the floor. But as you can see, she's a dynamic artist as well. I mean, I'm telling you, she makes people dance that can't dance. I mean, because that beat just gets you going, and it's like even if you don't know how to dance, you can't help but to do something, move something.
You got me in that category.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce you to She is Studio 2.0.
Orlando
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
presents.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me. That's quite the intro. I appreciate it.
Man, it's all true. It's definitely all true. Like I said, well, I'll let you know because most people don't know when they first come on the show. Because if I tell you from the beginning, you may not come on the show. I'm an amateur stalker.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I stalk around the pages and
Okay.
YouTubes and to try to pull out little tidbits and information. Back when you were little, when you had the cornrows and things of that nature.
Okay. Well, as you see, I still rock them these days too. Not today, but you do your
It's
research. Can't be mad at that.
It's all good. It's all good. Man, before I go on, most definitely I need to give you the floor real quick and so you can let the folks know who may not know of you, who you are and where you're from.
My name is Shonda. I go by Studio. Usually, I changed it to She is Studio 2.0 because it was so difficult to find my music sometimes with a general name like Studio. I'm from Lansing, Michigan, and yeah, I pretty much do what Orlando Presents said. That's me in a nutshell.
So, you say you're from Lansing, Michigan?
Yes. Yep.
Wow, you're born there?
Yeah, Lansing, Michigan.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what kind of things there in Lansing, Michigan can you say that if I were to travel there, what is a must see?
I don't really know that we have a must see because it's a small city.
Mm,
Most people who are coming to Michigan are going to Detroit or Grand Rapids. I mean, the people, I love that it's like a smaller community.
mm,
Um, it's big, it's just big enough, but just small enough. It's a good place to raise a family if you want to settle down. Most people are going to East Lansing to see the Spartans.
mm.
Woo! I mean,
Okay.
if you're coming to see something, I suggest you go see the Michigan State Spartans. Not this year, probably, but in general, just in general, anything out on Michigan State's campus is pretty cool. We have the Warden Center, which is also out in East Lansing. They have all types of productions, like if you're into like Broadway type stuff.
Yeah.
We have the Warden Center. Yeah, most of the things are out toward East Lansing Broad Museum. So just head toward East Lansing, head toward campus. You'll find some things to do.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you say the Warden Center?
Wharton. Mm-hmm.
Wharton. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I thought you said the Warden Center. I was like, man,
Oh
hold on. You might
no,
scare
Wharton.
some people away on that
No,
one.
no, Performing Arts Center. Wharton Performing Arts Center. They do concerts and live things.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome. So we're gonna jump right on into it. We're gonna go backwards here. We're gonna go all the way back to, you know, little She is Studio 2.0 with the pigtails and things of that nature, causing havoc all around the house. So what
Right.
got you into music? I mean, just music in general. Where did you start the love for it?
I don't know if I have like the traditional how people are just really, really into music and love music. I don't
Mm,
even know that I have it now, to be perfectly honest. I like music. There's a part of it that I love, but I've always been into, I think, the bigger arts, whether
mm,
it's music, whether it's writing plays or poems, or I mean, everything arts since I was little. I've just really, I don't know. And it's weird because I've always been very introverted. I've always
mm.
been very quiet, but even in elementary school, the only time you might hear me talking is if we're having like the little school plays or something like that. I always wanted to be a part, you know, very awkward outside of that. But as long as
Mhm.
I can remember, I've really been into just everything arts, like all of it, the whole arts package.
Okay, okay. I can pretty much see that in your in your skits and things of that nature. That doesn't come from somebody that just started it right away. That comes from somebody that had something in their mind back when, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, I can do this. I can start doing this. I can make people laugh, things of that nature. So, were you always funny, even as a child? Did you make people laugh?
I don't think so. I was very quiet.
Mhm.
I've always been very quiet. Like I said, very introverted. I'm not sure.
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of that. You hear people say that kind of that quiet funny. I mean, I think God has kind of brought that out as I've gotten older. But that's a good question. You got me thinking about it now. I don't think, as far as like humor and comedy, no, I was never
Mhm.
the one, like you'll hear people say, I was the class clown and I knew when I made the class laugh. That wasn't my story at all. I'm sitting over in the corner, like looking at everybody else. I mean, I think I've had a unique way always of looking at the world, which,
Okay.
which kind of gave me an offbeat humor. I think I've always had that kind of quietly internally. But as
Right.
far as what I do now, no.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
I've like my dad is I think some of that may come from my dad. Like he kind of uses humor, even in like, because it used to annoy me until he explained it. Kind of even in like tragic, sad kind of situation. He'd be making jokes and things
Mhm.
like that, and it used to upset me. And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? And we had to talk one day, and he's like, This is how I deal, with things. So some of that humor may
Oh,
have come
okay.
from there. I think it's just kind of general things. It was not a particular person or thing. Like even music, my parents would be playing like the whinings and commission and all that. I mean, so I was around music. My mom would always sing at church and things like that. And I think even some of her siblings, sing at church. But I think it was always just kind of generally being around those things. But I can't point to like one thing like, man, I noticed I was funny there. I noticed I love music there. Like, I think God just kind of surrounded me
Right.
in general with it and always put something in my heart because it's so counter to my natural personality, sort of.
Hmm.
So if that
Okay,
answers
that's
something.
awesome. That's all. I mean, with me also. I mean, when I was younger or whatever, I don't think I wasn't the outgoing person. I wasn't the person that run their mouth all the time, crack jokes, things of that
Right.
nature or whatever. It just as I grew up, it gradually started changing my look on things, and I think certain things that happened within my life started making me crack jokes a little bit more to hide a lot of the pain.
Right.
So I started doing certain things like this. Certain people who grew up with me would probably never have guessed that I would be hosting a show, a talk show
Okay.
on video or anything. I'm like, nah, not him,
Okay.
but hey, God has a plan for all of us, right?
There you go. There you go. Walk it.
There you go. There you go. Um, so we're speaking about God and we love God.
Yeah.
Now, so where have you always been a child growing up within religion, or when did that start transpiring into your life?
I grew up in church. For me,
Okay.
a children's church, a junior church. I think when I was very, very young, I always had a affinity for God. I always wanted a relationship with Him, but I struggled with it, which
Mm,
kind of made me, I'd say, almost doubt God as I got older. Because
mm,
I did. I really, really loved God as a child, and I think that's from my parents having us so ingrained in a good church and um, good groups. But I'm like, man, I try to talk to God, with my child mind, and He doesn't talk back. Or I really began to struggle with that as I got older. And then I'm a very analytical type
mm.
person. I mean, because my background, my degrees in engineering, so I'm a very analytical person. I'll say that.
Oh,
And
okay.
sometimes I can even overanalyze to my detriment. So as I got older, I started thinking about stuff that now doesn't even make sense. But then it's like, can God really be real because of this or because of that? And I began to question God. And it became more of I'll just believe in Him as much as I can so that I don't go to hell. I mean,
Mm,
it almost more from, man, God, I love you. And I really want to have this relationship with you till around that high school, maybe graduating point. Like, is God? I was really questioning whether God was real, and like, well, I better just believe in Him because the alternative sounds horrendous. So just in case He's real,
mm,
I used to call Him my just in case God. Just in case God is real, I'm gonna do my best with this God thing. God thing.
mm.
I'm gonna do my best with it because I really don't want to go to hell. And if I can continue with that story a little bit, just
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I I went through like a really just dark, like depression, a really dark time over a period of time. And I mean, God really took me through some things. Like I was on the verge of committing suicide. Like, I mean, literally,
Mm,
in a parking lot. And a stranger, I mean, there was a series of events that happened before that, but I had met her one time when I went to I actually went to Michigan State at the time, but went to talk to somebody, and she's like, she thought I had got raped or something. She could tell something was wrong, but I was ready to talk, but I wasn't. And I was like, it's not that. I just, she's like, well, promise me you won't do anything stupid when I got ready to leave. And she gave me her phone number. Um, and she was like, just promise me. And she was like, if you need me, call me. And I remember sitting in a high school, not my high school, but a high school parking lot, bottle just full of pills, every pill I could find in my house, and like the street. And I opened that bottle and I was going to drink that bottle. I said, God, if she don't answer this phone, I guess that means that's it for me. And you didn't, you didn't have anything for me. You just, my time is up here. And I called. She did not answer the phone. She did not answer the phone. Yeah, and then I opened that bottle. I was about to drink that bottle, and the phone rang back. And I tell you, this lady, I had met her one time in my entire life for that few minutes when I went to Olin. I think it's called Olin Health Center. And she came and picked me up. And long story short, that is how I got back to church. I went out of obligation to her because like her, I think it was her mom or somebody was like, you need to go back to church and take her. I mean, because that night we wound up there, and she called me. I was hoping she did not call me. Like, please do not call me, because at that point, I had built up such a hardness of heart just toward church, and I thought I knew more than I did. I thought I knew the whole everything about church and God and the system at that point. And I think I had become kind of bitter. But she did call, and I'm like, gee. But I said yes, just out of obligation, because if somebody literally saves your life, the least you could do is go to church with them when they invite you. And I went to that service, sat in that service just as arrogant as all get out, because I was hurt. And I'm like, yeah, this is church just like I remember, because I had gone for years. Loud preacher. I mean, I was just predicting everything as it would go in the service. I was like, yep, now they about to do this. And yep, this same thing I remember. And at the end, I don't remember specifically what the pastor said in altar call, but I said, God, I'm going to step out one more time. If you don't show me you're real, I don't remember. I said, I need you to show me you're real. Or if you don't show me you're real, I was like, I'm never, ever coming back to church ever again. Because I believe in my heart, I always wanted him, but I was just so tired of feeling like, hey, is this for nothing? Is this? And then, yeah, I walked up there, just, it was the weirdest feeling. It seemed like it took 10 million years for them to get to me to pray for me. But when I tell you, this lady spoke, thus saith the Lord, and ran down my whole life. And God knew she had to talk about things like from my childhood and from my past, not just like prophesy something to the future, because I would write that off. It had to be things like, I've never met you. You've never met me. You're saying things that I know there's no way that you could know. I mean, and God knew it had to be something like that. And from there, when I tell you, I was on fire after that. And I'm like, thank you, God. I think for weeks I just cried in gratitude. Like, you didn't have to show me you were real in that way, but you did. I mean, so that's in a nutshell, kind of my journey.
Amen. Man, I remember the time I tried the pill thing, and all I did was end up having a nice sleep, a good night's sleep. All I did was slept the whole night and woke up the next morning like, okay, all right, God, I'll stop playing. Okay, I mean, because that was my second time trying to, but so I definitely get it. I definitely understand that, and I get the fact of, are you real? Let me know that you're real, because a lot of times we go through the situation, whereas I'm going through so much in my life, but if you're there, then why am I going through all of this?
Or we can do this if I know you're there.
Yeah.
Like either why am I going through this? Or I can go through this as long as I know you're there. But if I'm going through this by myself, and this is
as long as I can feel something, let me feel something. And then all of a sudden, over years and things of that nature, he started literally speaking to me. He started telling me things. He started giving me feelings that other people weren't getting, and things of that nature or whatever. But I was like, okay, I know you're speaking to me. I know that's what's going on, and I know if I've upset him, or if I've done something that I know I shouldn't have done, I'll go a couple of days without hearing anything or without feeling anything. So, but Definitely. I do get it. I do understand that. Ladies and gentlemen, just to let y'all know, once again, this is Mental Impact Radio. Let's talk gospel. We're sitting down with She is Studio 2.0 or Studio.
Either one, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Just want to give a shout out to Club Comments, the folks that are in the comments. You know, Gina Livewire, she's doing her thing in the
What's up,
comments.
Gina?
Really
Appreciate you.
appreciate you. She already says she wants you to come out to Cali. So, you
Hey,
know,
I'm
Gina
with
may end
Cali.
up sending you a ticket,
I'm
you
with
know, to
Cali.
come out to Cali. Mary Gooseby, shout out to Mary Gooseby. Oh, excuse me, always a pleasure. And my brother Bertrand McKinney was inside the comments. So always a pleasure for y'all to come by and show your support, man. Definitely. And if you're not able to see this live, we always have the recordings. It will be on YouTube, and also the audio will be on our podcast. Anywhere that you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, all those good places, Amazon. So definitely. All right. We got all that out of the way.
Got a housekeeping.
Man, yeah, most definitely. So we played the song Turning Around.
Hmm.
So when you were doing this song, I understand that it said 5 years ago, but is that truly 5 years ago? Because sometimes you may have uploaded it or whatever, or the
Oh yeah,
time
no,
is
that's
not exactly.
no, that's correct. That's right.
Oh, okay.
That was on the
Okay.
Reaching for the Light EP.
Oh, okay.
Turning
All
around.
right. All right. So, what was the thought process between for that track there, turning around? Was that just like, okay, I'm gonna do a feel good song, just put it out there, or what was the
Yeah,
thought
I think it was
process for
kind
that?
of a mix of that, a feel good song. I try to put some type of um, messaging in every song, but some a little lighter than
Hmm.
others. I don't even know if I went in with the intent like, oh, this is just a light feel good song. I believe I had the track, and I wanted to do a track with a friend of mine, Larry Trice Jr. So we sat down and kind of collaborated. Like, I believe he actually came up with the start of the hook, if I remember correctly. And I think I ended up writing around the hook that he came up with.
Okay.
So it kind of went from
Okay.
there. But yeah, definitely wanted to have a feel good track. I knew I was going to shoot, go the whole nine and shoot a video
Mhm.
for it and things like that. But something that would be uplifting always. And um, a lot of us are in situations at times where we do need, to feel like things are turning around. Like,
Right.
so definitely wanted to put, that
That's
message out there. Like, no matter what's going on, it's gonna turn around. It's gonna be okay.
okay. Now, you did a skit, and I'm gonna jump into one of your skits. It's a short skit, but it's funny. I've seen it before. It made me roll out laughing. Sunday morning church excuses.
Okay.
Where do you come up when you do these skits? Is this something that you just come up with because it was a part of your life, or is it from what somebody else told you? How do you come up with these skits?
Typically, I'm pulling from everywhere. I'm pulling from my own experiences. I'm pulling from the internet. I'm pulling from um, people that I know. Like, pretty much, especially when you're putting out a lot of content and
Mhm.
you can find ideas, pretty much everywhere. Like, I don't do it as much, but even in situations like this, if there was something that was a little offbeat, there's potentially humor in
Mhm.
everything. So I try to pull from, not only my own experiences, but you can find humor and you can find things pretty much anywhere. So
Right.
I pull from a lot of
See,
different sources.
it's kind of funny that you said that because before we came on, I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, I hope I don't do something that she does a skit about later.
Here's the thing. I try to never be and this is intentional. I try to never do anything that's mean spirited or that would
Mm,
ever which you do have to make a decision in that because there's so many, how do I say it? There's a lot more that I could do a lot of times, and sometimes I'll have ideas for things, but I try not to pile on to people unless it's like, especially if it's a person, unless there's somebody that's very much in the public eye and it's very much like a public thing that's in the news or
mm,
something like that. I try to never do humor that is going to tear somebody down or at the end of the day
mm.
have somebody feeling bad. So it's a lot of mine is sometimes very general. So if I'm gonna go at you, it's almost something I would hope that you would find funny as well.
Oh, that's fine with me.
things
That's
like
fine with me. I have a sense of humor. Hey, especially if you put the name, Mental Impact in it. So
Right, there you go. See, there you go. Yeah, I
got to
always
get it out there. But
want the
what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into that skit, and then we're gonna jump into He That Finds,
okay.
one of the tracks that you sent in and everything. I see that you had a video for that, so we're gonna jump into that, and then we'll discuss more about that when we get back. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All righty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Mental Impact Radio. Let's talk gospel. Let's go.
Hello, my name is James Hardy, and you're watching Mental Impact Radio, where the word affects your mind and spirit.
You fly, I just want you to know, cause the world I try to tell you that you're less than, yeah. Oh my, no lies been told, the way you're handling your business is impressive, yeah. Even when you're stressing, cause life is handing out a billion different lessons. You talk to God in the struggle and the blessings, cause you strong but he's stronger. Look how you lean on him, sheesh. A picture of how you can leave me, but let me fall back for a round. Love how you always hold your family down, or holding them up. Whatever you be showing them love. A good man indeed. Not a little boy running out in these streets, finding someone to cheat with or cheat on or creep with or creep on, and so on and so on and so on and so on. They got me all like da 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 da. I'm just trying to mind my business, but then I'm all like la 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 la. He define, he is fine. Girl, but got me all like da 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 da. I'm just trying to mind my business, but then I'm all like la 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 la. He define, he is fine. Girl, but what? Excuse me, sister, I'm just your Mr. Right. You know your brother in Christ. Yeah, I know you're tight. Ticking the gram for the likes, hoping that maybe you slide in the DMs and slide in the PM. That slip turn the slide in the me and Houston, we got a big problem now. Cause you're fine and I let that body take over. Now I'm crying out to God like I need a makeover. From some post about a guy you barely know, talking 12 Hail Marys and 15 Geronimos. Oh no, I done fell for the okie doke. Messed around, play with fire, I ain't want to smoke. Now my mind's playing tricks like it's all a joke. And Casper flipped and dipped the unfriendly hosted. Caught up doing the most. Sis, better watch your back, make sure they match what they post. They got me on like da 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 da. I'm just trying to mind my business, but then I'm all like la 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 la. He define, he is fine. Girl, but got me on like da 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 da. I'm just trying to mind my business, but then I'm all like la 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 la. He define, he is fine. Girl, but what? Alright, we're gonna give everybody this time to make their way out to the dance floor. Cause as you can see, there's some good ones out there, and then there's some ones out there. And we ain't talking about ones in the classic Jordan ones type sense, or even day ones. Them just them other ones. Watch out for them, y'all. Let's get it. He looks alright over there, like, oh, I think he's coming this way.
Oh, we ain't gonna be out by the time the gang come on. I literally have nothing to wear. I am not in the mood to turn to my neighbor. It's gonna be too crowded. I won't eat from last night. Didn't we just go last Sunday? I figured they do homeschool. I just do home church. I don't feel like fooling with them kids this morning. If they thought I was gonna show up, they wouldn't stream. Look like it's gonna rain in 2 hours. God know my heart. It's gonna be too hot. I don't even think Pastor gonna be there today. Service is gonna be so long. Is it Resurrection Sunday? We ain't going, but that don't mean we ain't gonna pray at home, y'all. Come on. Thank you, God, for this food. It's gonna be crowded getting out the parking lot. Oh, service is too early. It's gonna be too cold. I'm running late. Ain't had time to eat. This my day off. Even the Lord himself rested.
Man, oh my goodness, we're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, with more Mental Impact Radio. Let's talk gospel. Sitting down with She Is Studio 2.0. Like I said, y'all may know her about from her skits on Instagram and YouTube, but she has bars. She is multi-talented. I'm telling you, y'all need to check her out. Check out her music, man. Definitely. And her skits, because that joint. There was a couple of parts in that skit the first time because Gina shared it on Facebook and I
Okay.
saw it for the first time and I was like, hold on, hold on. No, she did not just say if they have homeschool, then they get home.
Well, it's
Ah,
funny. It was actually a longer skit. A lot of these I have just, like I said, I've had. Well, I guess we hadn't started yet, but I've had multiple channels over the years.
mhm.
So some of these I've just recut for the shorter attention span audience. That was actually a longer sketch, and I had a few other jokes in there, but I actually cut it shorter for the modern social
Man,
media, we'll call it, audience.
oh my goodness, that was hilarious. That was so funny. I'm gonna have to use it with your permission. May I use that on other shows?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Mhm.
I mean, because that definitely is hilarious to me. I was like, "Oh my goodness, man!" And then what did you say? I gotta remember. What did you say? If
Oh,
they
if they
didn't
expected me
expect
to
us
show
to
up, they
come,
would
they wouldn't
stream.
stream it. Oh my goodness, man, that was so funny. That was so funny.
I
I was
appreciate
like,
it. I
my
appreciate
man, Keith Roy, Music Man. Shout out to you, brother. One love, one love. Shout out to Jonah. One love. Thank you for
Yeah, what's
stopping
up,
by.
everybody?
Anthony, thank you for stopping by. But my man, Keith Roy, he has a show as well, and he was asking he wants to play that on his show.
Oh yeah,
So
that's fine. Go for it. What's his
you
name? Keith.
know,
Go for it. Yeah, have at
definitely that is so hilarious, man. I mean, and you saying when you were younger, you were quiet.
I'm still quiet.
So when did you come on now?
Yeah, when I'm I would say operating outside of what I know God has gifted me to do.
Hmm.
Like if I'm just going to a room, say it's a networking event, I'd hate it just because small talk, it's not me. Like awkwardness. I'm very introverted. Even in
Right.
general, when I'm not making skits, that's why it throws people sometimes that like, oh, she seems outgoing. She's not. Ask anybody who actually knows me personally. I'm not outgoing at all. I'm the true, kind of stereotypical definition of introvert until I'm super, super comfortable with you, unless it's something like music or, like I said, arts related stuff.
Hmm.
In just regular life, no, super
Wow.
introvert.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get one of your friends to join so they can
Yeah,
tell us
hey,
about you.
hey,
No, I'm
they tell you the same thing. I wouldn't even trip.
this
I ain't
is this
lying to
is
you.
an old episode of Maury.
Like I ain't lying to you. Bring them on.
Oh man, but that is hilarious though. I really love the skit. But what really drew my attention, I want to talk more on that, is he that finds a good thing. That video, not only the song blew me away, so congratulations on the song. Definitely we're going to be putting that in rotation on our radio station. We have a
I
24-hour
appreciate it.
radio station as well, hence Mental Impact Radio. So
Makes
so
sense.
exactly. So the thought process for the video, because that was intricate. That wasn't something that you just said, okay, yeah, we're gonna do that. So how did the thought process to make a video like that, and why did you make a video like that?
I was talking to a friend of mine. Somehow we got on the topic of like animation. I don't know why, because I
Mhm.
don't animate. My background before I did my current job, I am in like an editor and videographer, but they were talking
Mm.
about all the different AI tools, and they were saying how such and such did, and it seemed pretty easy. I'm like, there's no way animation is easy, even with AI. And they're like, I'm not talking about like animation, but kind of they showed me a clip. But they had like a 5-second clip. I'm like, but also me, I kind of like creative things and I kind of like a challenge. And I'm like, well,
Mhm.
I edit too. So I started to research, a little bit. I was like, that would be kind of cool because I like to do things, as you can tell, probably that are different. I
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
do things that are kind of outside the box. I'm kind of an outside the box individual, outside the box thinker. So I said, that would be kind of cool if I could figure out how to pull that off. Let me at least look into it. So, and especially with the concept of the song, because right now, just I ain't on that level of going out and making hiring people to make music videos right now and all that. So I knew I wasn't gonna do that. And I said, what else can I do? You know, what else can I do right now that'll be professional, but with the tools that I have and
Right.
with those things, that thing took me so long. So thank you for saying that you enjoyed it because it took a
Uh,
really, 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 really long time.
oh, I loved it. I didn't just enjoy it. I actually loved it. I think if
Wow.
you would have shot a regular video for that after seeing this, I
Yeah.
would be like, nah, give me the animated one. I mean,
Wow.
honestly, I really enjoyed it that much because it was something fresh. It was
Wow.
something fresh, something new. You don't see that.
Right.
And then
Right.
with the song, it matched up so
Right.
well with the video. I'm that type of person when I'm looking at videos and I'm listening to music, it has to match up well for me. The
Gotcha.
person can't be rapping and then it sounds like you're a second off beat,
Okay.
because somehow I can catch that.
You don't feel when
Or
people
if
come off the beat a little bit when they
yeah,
rap a little behind the beat. You don't be feeling that.
no, no, no. Or
Not a Show
or
Baraka fan then, huh?
no,
I
or,
love Show.
or if you what's the other thing? Or if you go into the studio and you're not 100% sure of your lyrics, but yet
Okay.
you're trying to spit some rhymes, I can hear that you're not sure what you're saying or you're
Gotcha.
not believing what you're saying. So but that was a great change of pace to see something like that instead of a regular video shot. Now I
Oh,
could see
thank you.
more people doing videos like that, if they had the tools and they knew what to do, how to do it. So would you be willing to take jobs to make a person a video like that?
Nope.
Mm,
I was like, ooh, I was halfway through. I was like, I don't know why I started. I only finished it. And me and my friend laughed about it. I was like, how did you convince me? And then they were like, that's not what I was talking about. I didn't know you were going to do all that. But I was so far in it at
right.
that time. I'm like, man, I've got to see this through because I mean, it for me, probably for somebody who knows it a lot more and knows
Hmm.
how to manipulate. I mean, because every one of those images, you first had to create the art with AI, and
Right.
then you had to get it so that it's cohesive because those are individual shots that don't necessarily go together. So you're trying to tell the AI the image that you want it to make, the environment you want it to be in, and still create something that's cohesive. Like, so it was for me, it was a bit too much. So halfway
Mm,
through, I was like, but I was in it, like I said, and I was like, man, it'll look really cool if I can push myself to finish this. But I don't think I'd do this again, not even for
yeah.
myself. I mean, I don't know. I would have to be in a mindset where I'm like, okay, I want to really sit down and learn this, so it's a little easier to create all the elements and things like
Right.
that. And since I was a little bit novice on creating, I think it took me way longer than it would take a very skilled person who really
Yeah.
knows how to manipulate AI like that.
Yeah.
Not me. Like I said, we had the idea, and I'm like, let me look into that just enough to get it done.
Yeah.
And with my editing background, I knew I could do that part. But yeah, no, it was.
You should send that video in to somewhere like, BT, any place like that or whatever, because I'm pretty sure nobody else is doing videos like that. And you'll probably be one of the first that has, and not only the video, but like I said, the song is banging.
Hey, I
So if
appreciate
nobody
it.
told you that, then hey, you need to go back and slap them because
No,
the
no,
song,
I've heard that, but it's always good to hear it again. I mean, I
yeah,
appreciate the feedback, especially
definitely.
about the video too, because like I said,
Yeah.
it did take a lot of effort to hear positive feedback continually about it.
Yeah.
Is always
Yeah.
encouraging for sure.
Shout out to my brother Macho. Macho Perez is in the building. We just
Hey,
got through sitting down with that brother. His interview will be airing this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Amazon Fire Stick and Roku under the Rethink TV channel. So go, if you have that, load Rethink TV, and his interview will be loaded and playing on there. We have that spot every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So this interview may appear on there as well. And if it does, I'll let you know. I'll just give you a little shout out, email or something, shoot it to you, let you know that we're going to rebroadcast it on the TV network as well. So,
Sounds good. Don't have them clowning me about my virtual background, though.
wow. 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 Man, I want to dig a little deeper before we move on and everything to some more music and stuff. But I want to dig a little deep, and this is a question that I've asked a couple of different people before, and so I want to present this question to you. If you had the opportunity of meeting Jesus and asking him one question, what would that be and why?
I guess this is kind of just off the top of my head. If I had a lot more time to think about it, my answer honestly would probably be different. But for the times now, because I watch lately I've been watching a lot of like debates. I've been watching a lot of like the give me an answer type things, a lot of that. I would probably ask them what is the number one thing we can do, or the absolute most effective way to, and I mean specifically, not in generality, but in specificity, to get people to believe in you, to get people to, what is the best strategy, what is for today, for the time we're in history right now, what is the absolute best strategy specifically to win people to the kingdom, to let people know that you're absolutely real.
Man, that's a deep question. Definitely a deep question. I like that. I like that.
Because I think a lot of people are genuinely struggling.
Yes.
Sometimes we'll see people who don't necessarily believe, and they're like, oh, they just don't want to believe, or they just don't want to. But I've been trying to really listen and hear people's hearts lately, people who have, because I've been a person, I wanted God so bad. I was trying to find him for so many years. And I mean, I know what that feels like. You genuinely want him, but you're struggling in some areas, and just hearing people's hearts, it's like, man, God, help us continually find the way to not just throw them away, be like, they don't want God. Yeah. I mean, but to reach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
because it just
Yes.
sometimes we'll write them off as being, they're just prideful, or their hearts just hard, and leave them alone, and that's it. But it's like, man, there's a way to reach all of them too, because some of them are not. A lot of them sometimes can be prideful, and can have all that, but there's a whole sector of people out there too that are genuinely searching and genuinely struggling. And if there's something that we can do to make their journey a little bit not easier, but you know what I'm trying to say, if
Yeah.
there's a strategy that we're missing, I would want to know.
Lighten the journey up a little bit.
Yeah.
Lighten it up, and so yeah, I get that. I get that. Like I said, that's a wonderful wonderful answer. I like that. I like that. Definitely, definitely. Let the folks know how they can go about following you, supporting you, if they want to fly you out to Bangladesh or Saskatchewan somewhere. How can they go about doing that?
So first, let me apologize to anybody who has followed me. I would say for the last 10 years, I have changed names multiple times. I have changed platforms. I've been Shonda, aka Fearless. I've been Just Studio, been SheisStudio 2.0. I've had, Fire One Production Studios, Bag T. I mean, I've had a plethora. Sorry. I just want to apologize. I know that I have erased channels and all that. Now I have gotten everything under one name, finally, everywhere. SheisStudio 2.0, everywhere. I'm done. Like, swinging everybody all over everywhere. SheisStudio 2.0 is how you can find me. SheisStudio2.0 at gmail.com. If you want to send me something for business. Social media, I have a love-hate relationship with. So I might go periods of time where I'm on there for 6 months straight and then not on there for so business-wise, SheisStudio 2.0 at gmail.com will be the best, most reliable way to reach me for business. But I also want to say thank you to everybody who watches my videos, who's ever listened to a song, who's ever shared anything. Thank you. We all make this work, because at the end of the day, I'm just a vessel for God, and I appreciate him using me, because like I said, it surprises me. It's so outside of my personality. I'm just grateful that,
Amen. I'm grateful for that as well, because it'll be, hard to interview somebody that don't talk.
Yeah, it
we
would.
don't.
That'd be a challenge. Might be funny though. You want to try it?
No.
Okay. I was about
That's
to
okay.
give you a run for your money. You're like, see what he does now. See if you can think on your feet.
Oh my goodness! When I first started interviewing, I had a couple of like artists that just got into music, so you can tell that they never been interviewed before, and it
Oh,
was
gotcha.
almost like pulling teeth. So instead of talking about the music, I would start talking about, do you like sports?
Oh,
Things that other outside of that, then loosen them up and then start talking about the music, and then sometimes that'll work, but
okay.
a lot of times it wouldn't, but sometimes it would. So I was happy about that.
Oh, yeah. I've done this.
Look at Gina talk about do it. Look at boy, I tell you, boy, man. What they used to say, friends like you, I don't need no enemies,
Oh,
boy.
was that not a positive? That wasn't a compliment.
N-
Oh,
No,
she meant
she
for
talking
me to
about,
do it.
yeah, for you to not to be quiet and
She
not
remembered.
speak.
She remembered that you said, you possibly wanted a comedy sketch or something. That surely would have given.
That would have been a sketch. I would have
She's
shared
trying
that
to help
all
you out.
around.
She's trying to help you out. That's all.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a question that I have for you. I'm glad you mentioned that. So outside of the sketches, do you do any like stand up?
I do not. Nope.
Okay. So it's just the sketches then.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Um Also, a question that we have for you is that when you're getting into a mood of writing, which one do you usually write, the location that you usually write at best? Out of these two locations, which one do you usually write at best? If it's neither, it's neither, but usually it's one or the other, the bathroom or your car.
Oh man, those are two very solid. Those are both of those are very solid. Though that's hard to pick. I mean, for
Well, the
me,
bathroom is literally solid, but go
I mean,
ahead.
but the shower for me is a place of thought. I might be writing or praying, or I mean, the shower just because there's not you there for one particular purpose, but you kind of just that's a place, like I said, where you know I'm coming up with ideas, or I'm talking to God, or I mean, so that, but also the car, because a lot of times I'll turn the radio completely off, and I'm just writing so that if I want to think of ideas. Again, if I'm gonna pray, talk to God here, I mean, it's hard to pick between those two,
Mhm.
because they're both, for me, both of those are super solid. Like
Okay.
I'll take,
Okay.
I won't say I'll take either one. I'll take both. I'm not
Okay.
willing to eliminate either one. I'm taking both of those.
Okay. That's dope. What we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into your next track here. What you trying to follow? Oh, Gina was asking when you trying to fall asleep. I guess you get song ideas when you're trying to go to sleep at night.
Do I get song ideas when I'm trying to fall asleep? I don't think so. Maybe, I
Okay.
don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe, I
Yeah.
don't think I've thought about that. I know sometimes when I'm trying to go to sleep, my mind will be running in general, especially with the sketches, probably more than the music.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to turn it off. I mean, sometimes it's not a problem at all. And then other times, if I've been working on a lot of things, or if I have an open idea that's not finished, whether it's
Mhm.
music or sketches, if I have an idea that's open, sometimes it's hard to turn it off. But I mean, it's
Okay.
typically not too bad.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we got another cut here that she provided for us called All God. Let the folks know a little bit about that.
No matter what your situation is, as I said, we all have something that we have gone through or either are going through or are gonna go through. It's like the message there is no matter what happens, as long as you remember to keep it in God's hands or put it in God's hands. If you start slipping out knowing He's never gonna let you go, everything else is going to be okay. Like the situation itself may not be okay, but in the big picture, all things work together for good. Like of those who love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. Like
Amen.
it's all God, as they say, it's all good when it's all God. When you keep it in God's hand and keep it all God, no matter what it is, it's good.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to jump into She Is Studio 2.0's next track. Oh, God. Let's go.
Man, I love him. I really, really love him. Now let me add the credit for the things I did is nothing. You think I'm bluffing, like poker was the subject, but I ain't got a front, he's got my back. I'm royal flushing out that old tune like me, and everything. I hope he shows through like in the seasons. Got 10,000 reasons plus more. If I'm breathing, you see us, we winning. We kinda been cheating. Don't trip, yep, it's all gone. He's perfect even when we're not. Hear us bragging about him, yep, that's squad. Don't trip, yep, it's all gone. Man, I need him, I really, really need him. So if you want a reason for this joy, I got his freedom. In every season, when cold walls got me freezing, he fills my soul, gave all his PTO, he's never leaving. Now it's so cool, though it gets breezy. Heard his burden's light and his yoke is easy. Got 10,000 reasons plus more. If I'm breathing, you see us, we winning. And it's just the pre-season. Don't trip, yep, it's all gone. He's perfect even when we're not. Hear us bragging about him, yep, that's squad. Don't trip, yep, it's all gone. He got the blueprint, I'm just sticking to the plan. Whole world be like, nah, you over here like yes, you can do this. We gon' get through this. Don't forget who is in control. The more you grow, you won't care who gets in the way. Opposition, reposition for a brighter day. Keep on smiling, keep on shining, he gon' make a way. Y'all, so take today, pause to see he's so good because he's so good. Don't trip, yep, it's all gone. He's perfect even when we're not. Hear us bragging about him, yep, that's squad. Don't trip, yep, it's all gone. It's all good, cause it's all God. It's all good when it's all God. It's all good, cause it's all God. It's all good when it's all God. It's all good, cause it's all God. It's all good when it's all God. It's all good, cause it's all God. It's all good when it's all God.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back with more Mental Impact Radio. Let's talk gospel. Sitting down with She Is Studio 2.0. I'm your humble host, Orlando Presents. Man, we've had a great night tonight. Sitting down, chopping it up, learning a little bit more about her. I'm a fan, definitely. I mean, the skits are off the chain, but the music is really off the chain. I don't like listening to music when I first get it. A lot of times I want to be surprised. So when I had the person on the show, is like the first time I'll listen to it. And I'm pleasantly, surprised, not surprised, but pleasant uh, about the music that you put forth and that you have presented, that you have out. Is great. I mean, I like it. Definitely like it.
I thank you. I appreciate that. But that does caused me to think, and I have a question for you with
Yeah.
what you
Go ahead.
just said.
Go
So
ahead.
I mean, we know, the message is always good and really,
Mhm.
really good, right? About Jesus or, inspiration or whatever it is. But say, because you said you don't listen before you get on here, say you have a
Mhm.
guest on and you turn on that song and it is, I'll put it in the nicest way that I can, not at all your taste and probably few people's taste on the planet. I mean, is it pre-screened, or if it's not, what are you gonna do from there? What is your move from there? Is what I want to know.
You usually I have heard music from the person
Okay.
before.
Okay.
So I may not hear that particular song, but I have heard music from them before.
Gotcha.
I didn't know I knew you did music because you sent the music, but I just didn't know how good it was going to be,
I
you
got you.
know. So, but it
So you
definitely
do hear a
floored
little
me.
something before. I was just
Yes.
imagining this place. Say, if you
Yes.
don't pre-screen it all, and one day you're like, this is great.
This was like hot garbage. I mean, did I say that?
But no, I really do. I appreciate that. And honestly, I don't mind whether people gravitate toward the music and that's their thing, whether people gravitate toward the videos. I mean, whatever it is that you enjoy, I just appreciate you checking it out. I mean, I love that
Amen.
people are watching or listening or whatever it is that they like. So it's a blessing. So thank you.
Amen.
And thank
Amen.
everybody
Oh,
who's
not a
watching.
problem at all. So I'm gonna let you end it with, well, actually I'm not gonna let you end it here with a word of with an inspiring word. I'm actually gonna play one of your videos. And you had an inspiring word, and it really struck me. I really enjoyed it. And it's the video labeled "When You Feel Like No One's Supporting."
Wow, I haven't seen that in a long time. So I'm interested in what I said on that on that video.
So, but if you have any shout outs or anything of that nature, I know that's old school, but that's, it's all good. If you have any shout outs, anything that you want to, tell anybody, or just give a word yourself, that's fine as well. The floor is yours.
I just want to give a shout out to Mental Impact Radio. I want to give a shout out to Orlando Presents and Gina Livewire. I want to give a shout out to you guys and what you're doing to push independent artists. I just want to encourage everybody. A lot of times, especially on social media, you see all these highlights, and it seems like sometimes everybody's family is winning beside yours. Everybody, if you're an artist, everybody's music is winning beside yours. Everybody's everything is winning. You're like, hey, God, what? But I just want you to be encouraged. Just whatever lane God has built you to run in that lane, no matter what it is, whether it seems like a big platform, a small platform, an in-between platform. Just keep your eyes on God. I know it can be challenging sometimes, but whatever God has for you is for you. And whoever He created you to be that to your absolute very best. And God will take care of everything else. Be encouraged.
Amen. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap that up. Tomorrow we have a double show for y'all. We have a show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be sitting down with Brett Rayo. If you've never heard his music before, I don't know where you've been. You need to go check that brother out. He has some banging music. And we will be sitting down with the Radical One. She signed with New Tribe Records, so make sure y'all tune in. She will be on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So we have a packed day tomorrow, y'all. So stick around and come on back. But here's a word of encouragement. Here you go from SheisStudio2.0. Make sure y'all look her up. Let's go.
Let me tell you something. Everybody is not going to support you. The quicker you can get yourself to know that and be okay with that, I'm telling you, the quicker you'll be all right. So I had to learn that on the hard way. And it's not even that they're not your friends. It's not that they don't love you. What I've learned is everybody's not your audience. And sometimes it takes a while to find your audience. Just like I have friends, I have people I love. They just don't do things in the area of things I like. And sometimes I might do things, but it's just to support them. And it's just because I know them. Well, that's not all that I want. I want people, I want to put out things that are so good that you don't just feel like you have to support me because you know me, but you feel left out if you don't see it or you don't know what I'm doing because it's just that good. And everybody else saw it, everybody else is clamoring about it. And you watch it and you love it or you listen to it because you are my audience. So I just wanted to share that with somebody out there. Don't be frustrated, don't be upset if everybody doesn't support you. Those who are supposed to support you, who are your audience, will eventually support you. And everybody else, love them anyway. Maybe that's just not their area. They still love you. It's cool. Love them. Have fun. Go do something else. But yeah, just relax and find your audience. Keep doing what you do, y'all. Studio out.